It was good, Zodi Hawk. Give me a second. Yo, yo, yo. What up, Iman? Daily bias. Let's go ahead and check. I haven't done it yet, so. 4 hours looking pretty bearish. Retracing into this 1 hour fair value gap. Are these double equal lows? No, we just swept this low. Kind of pushing into this level. Huh. This is interesting. I think New York, we might get a pump up right here. That's what I'm thinking, at least. I mean, we swept this internal low over here. I don't know when this was. This was last week's. Wait, was this last week? No, this was yesterday. Sorry. This was yesterday's swing low. And then starting to push off over here. We have this big 4 hour fair value gap. So 10 a.m. might look something like this. The open might shoot back down for a little bit, and then it might push up for the rest of the day is what I'm thinking. 15-minute, nothing. It's kind of straight chop, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I do like this like 5-minute that we're kind of inversing right now. That's kind of been the whole theme right now recently. Just straight chop. So this 5-minute right here, right? You sell off, or sorry, you get a pump up, sell off, pump up, sell off, pump up, sell off, pump up, sell off, pump up. What up, good? What's good, Zabra? If we were to play this, oops, that is not what I meant to do. Target would be probably London highs and shit. Well, there goes like the lower time frame objective. I was thinking that maybe I could take a long right there, but we take this high. It's not looking good. All right, took that high right there. Cool, whatever. See, we could continue pushing up. Off open, like market open, will be a little bit interesting. I want to, like, this is what I would want to see off open, to be honest. I think something like this makes sense, because we already swept this internal low right here. I don't see us kind of selling back down off open, maybe. At least I wouldn't like to see that. I mean, we totally could. Like, these are like the two scenarios right now. I think this one might make more sense. Like a sell off off open, right? Sell off off open and then pump up for the rest of the day. But low key, we've kind of just been bearish as of late. So I would like to see a pump up and then just a sell off for the rest of the day again. Like more continuation. Yeah. What up, Kenji? Yo, yo, yo. See if we could get a dub in today and the week. 5-minute, like I said, yeah. I think we'll probably have pretty clear defined shorts though. I'm thinking like probably take a short. Either down here, like after we inverse this 5 down here, or actually, I'm sure by then we'd probably close below this 5-minute right here. Kenji, how much is in your account? Like how much are you up? Like, I think it might depend, but it kind of just depends on your balance. I would say I would honestly recommend you take a payout immediately, even if you don't have a lot of profit. But it also kind of just depends. If you could get like a $500 payout or a $1,000 payout, I would say do it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I recommend, at least. Like, I always recommend you guys to take secure a payout, cover all your costs that you had so far trying to trade these accounts, get less pressure off yourself, right? I think it's always good to pay yourself. Like, I'm 3 winning days in, but only around 200. I got cooked on Monday. If that's the case, Kenji, then I would say just start building up a buffer until maybe you get to 1K. Obviously, you got to trade very disciplined still. But for me, 200 maybe is not worth it, because like you can only request 50% of that, right? Plus, you got 2 more winning days. So I would say, Kenji, is get those 2 winning days, or get those 2 more winning days, right? And then think about it again. So whatever you're at after those 5 winning days, then reconsider. But at the same time, don't rush it, because don't try to, like, your first goal is to get to 5 winning days, first of all right? And then the second step is then you could think about getting a payout, right? Don't mix it up. Like, to get, should I get a payout right now? Like, don't think like you already secured the payout, right? Just get to those 5 days and then think about what you need to do, right? Okay. Honestly, I could take a step short if we close below right here, but it's like it's near market open, so I'll stay flat because it's probably not a good idea. But we do have a lot of high resistance liquidity to the downside still, so I mean, it could work, but I'm not gonna take it. Of course it sells off. Holy shit. Maybe I should have taken this short. Holy shit, what the fuck? Okay, well, I did manage to get in somehow. I took it off the flip. My stop was above the high right here. Literally, it just hit TP, bro. Okay, well, I mean, this wasn't worth alerting. Like, this was like ideally we get in off this entry right here, but like the thing with this entry right here was it's way too close to open for me. And usually, like, as of late, the opens has been ass, right? Like, it's been terrible. Actually, let me lock myself out. I know I'm gonna do some dumb shit in the trading day. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna lock myself out of my trading thing real quick. What up, Jeff? How you doing, brother? Okay, so this trade, right? Like, ideally, we get this entry up here, like I said, right? I would have liked to hold. The reason I would have liked this trade a lot was because we had targets, right? So this was like a good trade where we had multiple targets. Jeff, you blew 2 fundings this week, bro. I've blown fucking like fucking 20 accounts in 1 week, bro. Don't even trip, bro. You're good, Jeff. I've seen you coming in and showing your P&L and shit, bro. You're good, Jeff. There are certain types of traders that I see come in here, and then like I wouldn't say I know, but like I have a good idea of who will be successful, who won't be successful. I think, Jeff, you got the right mindset, bro. You're good, bro. Get back stronger, come back stronger, figure out what you did wrong. Part of the process. You just started learning like recently, right? So I think you're in a good spot, brother. Yeah, dude, FOMC this week, it wasn't even a good FOMC. That's why I got off early. I think we during FOMC, what do you call it? We took two trades, one break even, one stop loss. Bro, my stop loss, or maybe I shouldn't have taken a stop on it, but I was like one tick away from getting break even. And I was one tick away from getting break even, and I should have just gone break even, bro, but I let it go straight back to my entry, or not my entry, my stop loss, and then that was a loss on that. I think it was yesterday, or no, Wednesday. But yeah, anyways, let me explain this trade. I'm kind of going off on a tangent. So the reason I took this trade, why I liked it was, well, first of all, off open, I had two different scenarios in my head. The first scenario was if we were to push, right? So if we were to push, the reason why I was thinking maybe we could consider a push up was on the higher time frame. The 1 hour. I believe the 1 hour was retracing into this 1 hour gap. So I was kind of just eyeing this, thinking that this could be a retracement into here. Obviously, a higher time frame is we are bearish, right? That's kind of the entire theme that's been happening recently, right? We've just been selling off. So obviously shorts make sense, but on the lower time frame, shorts, like the market structure didn't really make sense for shorts, at least in my opinion. Obviously it's working out right now. It looks like we're selling off. It makes sense. We're in that 1 hour gap selling off. Plus the new candle is starting to flip bearish, or sorry, the end of the candle is starting to flip bearish again. So the only reason I was thinking potential longs was because we had kind of a big sell-off during London and Asia, right? What up, Trade Breaker? Yo, good morning. Did you take it? I did take it. I didn't take the entry I wanted, but my entry was a little late, but I took off the flip. Technically my entry was right here. So I took it for like a 1-to-1. It was more so a 1-to-1. 1 to like 4. But yeah, the reason I liked this, we drew out two scenarios. The first scenario would have been for us to continue our bearish trend. However, off open, I would like to see a rip back down, or sorry, a rip up and then a sell back down. The reason I liked a push up off open and then a sell off was, like I said, in order to go lower, you must go higher. In order to go higher, you must go lower, right? You need liquidity to kind of move the markets. So kind of whatever move that you want to happen, you need to anticipate for the other move to happen. So if you're wanting to go short, be careful of longs, right? Because like to continue the overall trend, you have to go higher, right? So if we're bearish, you want us to push up, sweep out all this liquidity, stop a whole bunch of people out, right? Fake a whole bunch of people out, gather as much liquidity as you want, and then take the short, right? So this was my initial plan. Was obviously I'm bearish on the higher time frame. Shorts do make sense. However, you know, you just gotta be a little bit careful sometimes, because we did sweep like this internal liquidity. We're having a very bearish reaction off of it. Is, you know, we took it, immediately started rejecting and started selling back down. So you gotta be a little bit careful. And also our second scenario in our head, which is what played out, by the way. Our second scenario that we played out, or like that I drew out, was this right here. So after taking this liquidity, we would sell off. And the reason I said that potentially we could sell off right here was because of all this liquidity that we've been building up, generating right here. Liquidity down here, right? Even this London low. So we have a whole bunch of targets, right? Before you get in any trade, your number one thing that you should be asking yourself is, do we have any targets? We do have targets, right? So as long as you have number one, a target, like a TP, right? If you have any idea where your TP is, you're good for a trade. Number two that you need is an entry. This is pretty simple. This is how I like look for trades pretty much. As long as I know where my TP is gonna be, I have targets to target on the way there. That's good. Now all I need is an entry. So obviously we played out our first scenario, didn't work out. The second scenario where we said potentially could be sell off right here, that's kind of what's playing out. Do we have targets? Yeah, we do. We have targets on the way down. Do we have an entry? This was our entry. It's not a great entry, I won't lie. The reason, I mean, it was a perfect entry, however, not good timing. What I mean by perfect entry was, look how heavy we close on the candle. Whenever I'm waiting for an inversion closure, I'm looking at how we close on the candle. So depending on how the candle closes, it gives me more confidence to enter that trade. If not, then I'm not like too interested in it. What do I mean by that? Like, I don't want a wicky close, right? Like, I don't want a closure within like past the fair value gap or an inversion where we're very wicky, right? So if we get like a candle like this, right? So say like a tall wick right here, like that doesn't give me any confidence when I'm entering a trade. What I want to see is full body closures. Like I want to see full bodies, no wicks, right? So obviously we got that off open. The only reason I didn't take it immediately right here as soon as this candle closed was because it was at market open. That is the only reason. Otherwise, this could have been like an A+ trade. Because it was off open and because of how choppy price action has been recently, off open where we just go up and down and we're like indecisive, that is why I didn't take this trade. That's why the risk to reward wasn't great. At least on my trade, right? I still got about $500. So I still made about $500, which is, I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that. I'm more than happy with that actually. But that is the only reason I wasn't able to hold longer, was because the trade itself didn't offer that because of the timing. If the timing and, you know, everything else played out, I would have been a lot more confident to hold throughout this entire candle. However, you know, once we did close, I waited for us to kind of push back up, and the only reason I took another short was because this candle was able to kind of flip back down bearish, right? So, you know, I felt like if I had my stop loss above here and we did, you know, if I was wrong, then I think this would have been a good stop loss right here. But if we were to flip back down bearish, then I felt like we had a little bit more room to go. That's the only reason I entered this trade, because I still had a target, right? Because we still did not at the time take this candle. So if I were to play back right here, close right here, miss my opportunity, wait for the next candle, right? So I wait for the next candle, super bearish. I'm like, okay, do I still have a target? Yes, I do. Where is my target? Well, for one, I could maybe go break even as soon as we hit this, right? So wait for break even right here, right? So I could go break even right here, and then I have maybe a full TP right here. So I had a game plan, right? Obviously the risk to reward wasn't as good as it could have been, but as soon as I see us push up and then flip back down, then I enter the trade on the bearish way down and straight to TP, and then now we're out. So I'm happy with that. Like I said, in terms of everything together, I would say I would give that an A execution, but just the timing is unfortunate. Like I would have liked to have been able to hold a lot longer. Yeah, you wait 15 minutes, Jeff. Dude, I'm telling you, Jeff, when I first started learning how to trade and I started blowing fucking hella funded accounts, that rule right there, wait the first 15 minutes, actually saved my trading. Like I felt like I became a better trader. I haven't followed that rule necessarily now, but I feel like it's because I've grown more confident in my own trades, where I can take a trade off open if I have everything in place. I have all my rules set. I have everything I need that I want and I want to see happen. Like I'll just take a trade off open if that's literally what the trade offers. But I'm telling you, Jeff, that is a really good rule to have. If you trade after 9:45, bro, that's really good, because after the first 15 minutes, then you're able to get a good grasp of what the market wants to do, right? Like the market bias usually settles in like maybe 15 minutes after, and it was like the most hardcore I've ever traded in terms of like how disciplined I was, dude. Every time, I'm telling you, I'd see the most A+ setup, Jeff, and I'd just have to sit it out, bro. I'm like, bro, it could be 9:44 and I still would not press the buy or sell button. I'd have to wait until exactly 9:45 to even consider a trade, right? So I felt like my trading did improve drastically when I did that. So I would say, yeah, follow that rule for like a month or two, bro. Like actually, and see where it takes your trading. And from there, then you could kind of become more flexible with your rules and figure out what you want to do. So if you want to, like, okay, I could trade off open now if the trade presents itself right. Obviously, you have to have that discipline no matter what. But if you don't have discipline, this is a good starting point. This is a good foundation. Let's see what Tradebreaker said. I planned the same first. I thought we took previous day low and we might go higher in the Asia and then maybe lower. Yeah. So, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Play back the video from the very beginning. Like, if you guys don't understand, like, play back the video from the very beginning where I literally I drew out two different scenarios. This was the first scenario I drew out, and then my second scenario was literally this. I kid you not, this was on my chart before this shit even happened, bro. Or sorry, before the entire playout happened. Like, this is what I drew out on my chart right here. So I was like, okay, these are the two different scenarios that I see off open. Was a push up and then a sell back down for the rest of the day. Obviously, this would have taken a little bit more time to develop because we'd probably have to push all the way back to Asia or London for that to happen. Obviously, that didn't happen. The second scenario was what happened right here. Was after we swept this internal high, we got a pretty bearish move. This is kind of like a traffic obstacle, whatever you want to call it. Like, we had a little bit of turbulence right here. And then just sold back down after we swept this high. Sold back down. Obviously, I wasn't anticipating for us to sell all the way back down, but it's a good place to kind of be at right now. So I think I'm personally done trading for the day, but I'm gonna try to alert another trade, see what we can find for you guys. One hour bearish gap. Yeah. See, at the same time is don't be afraid of bearish gaps or bullish gaps. Like, don't define it as that, right? I view trading now in terms of liquidity. So like every time I see a bearish fair value gap, like I'm not afraid to take a long even if we're in a bearish fair value gap, right? Because now I view it as liquidity. At the same time, I'm like, okay, we have we're in a 1 hour fair value gap. Obviously it has to align with everything else, but like I said, I'm not afraid to take a long in here, because I'm like, oh, maybe we're trying to fill in the fair value up and go higher, right? So like, I wouldn't say close off that like option, but like, you know, keep your options like there, you know. But we'll just have to see. Pretty aggressive sell off so far off this gap. So just eyeing this right now. Like if we get a strong candle closure, like I'm not saying this could be a sign of for short again, but like this is usually how I know which fair value gaps are gonna hold, is if we actually get a nice rejection off of that fair value gap instead of just tap. Like I would never take a tap into this fair value gap. Like I would never have a sell limit and just take the trade, right? I have to wait for confirmation. What confirmation is for me is a closure out of the fair value gap, right? So like this is probably a legit trade right here where, okay, so we close right here, right? So now I'm waiting for this next candle right here, right? So you see how this candle is printing back up? Like I would not enter this trade until we flip back, maybe back down bearish. So as soon as this candle flips bearish right here, right? You guys are watching this, right? If this candle flips back down bearish and we continue bearish, right? It has to have continuation. So I'll try to demonstrate it live for you guys of when I would like probably execute. Like this, like, see, because now this is like a hesitation candle, right? At this point, so much time has passed, right? Now there's only 20 seconds left in this candle. I would rather wait to see what the next candle does. So like, even if we flip back down bearish and even if we're selling off, I wouldn't enter the trade now. Like, I'd have to scratch the idea, right? Like, I'd have to see us push up and then sell back down within the first 15 seconds of that new candle open for me to take a trade, right? So now, like I said, this would be my normal entry right here. This candle right here would have been my normal entry, but I have another condition for me to enter that trade is I need to see us flip back down bearish. Do we ever get that? No. So this is how you're able to avoid this entry right here. So now I'm looking at this entry right here. So now I see this fair value up, right? So when I see this fair value up, what I'm thinking is there's two scenarios in my head. There's two scenarios that's playing in my head at the moment. Is, okay, this could be a potential long, right? If we close back above, this could be an inversion, or this could be a possible continuation short, right? So the two ideas that I have for a long, right? So let's say I have a long idea, right? What would my long idea be? Well, first of all, you know, I could go break even at this internal high, right? Or this could just be full TP, or, you know, I could go break even right here and hold all the way until Asia or London highs, right? That could be my game plan, right? Or a second scenario would be if we kind of tap into this fair value up and we get a strong candle closure out of it, right? So like I said, so like a lot of ICT traders, they see a bearish fair value gap and they would just immediately enter the trade right here, right? Because it looks like we just tapped into it, right? But for me, I need, like I said, I need confirmation. What is confirmation? I need a strong candle closure out of the fair value gap. So I'm waiting for basically a strong candle closure out of this gap, and then I will take my entry. My stop loss would probably be above the high, and I'd be aiming for this low. So now we're just waiting to see what the scenario is. Ideally, we get a candle closure right here, pretty strong one at least. Like, I don't want us to push too much right now because I would like to go break even right here. So I would like this spot to be my break even, and then I would like this to be my full TP. So we're just coming up with a game plan. It has to be a nice strong candle closure. Like I said, even if this closes right here, I have to wait for the new candle to see what the new candle does. I want to see continuation. So if we continue selling off, I will enter short, right? So no continuation yet. No continuation. We're flipping back up. All right. It looks like we want to be bearish, right? So now I would enter the trade. Now is when I would enter the trade. Honestly, the fill wasn't great because like it's paper trading, but so now you would go break even, bro. So now you would go break even, and you would try to hold for full TP, which is going to be London, or you could go and scale out whenever you feel comfortable. Do we have any targets? You could probably wait for this 5-minute fill on the fair value gap to target right here. Okay. So did you guys understand exactly what just fucking happened? Like, that's probably the best way I could ever explain shit to you guys. Like, I walked you guys through every single scenario before we even entered the trade, right? You entry right there. What was your fill, Jeff? Okay, I would say Trade Breaker, you got all the shit I said. Hey, that means you're starting to get it, Trade Breaker. Let's go. 411. Oh, so you got a good so you got a good entry, Jeff. You got a good entry up there. My shit was a little bit delayed, but 411. Yeah, it looks like you waited for the flip then. Maybe. I'm not too sure. Did you wait? Which time? Was it 950 you entered off of, or 949? Was it 950 or 949 that you entered off of? 950. Okay, Jeff, that is exactly how I would like do this trade live. I'm already up 500 on the day on my account, so I didn't take this trade live, but like I'm hoping you guys like understood why we took this trade. What up, Sackboy? Yo, brother, Sackboy J. That is an interesting name, brother. What the fuck is Sackboy J? But yeah, I don't know, like does that make sense at all? Like, do you want to be constantly talking in what if. Yeah, honestly learned a lot. Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, as soon as I started implementing just liquidity, like thinking in terms of liquidity, right? Number one, thinking in terms of liquidity, like, and two, drawing potential scenarios in your head before it happens, and three is like have like TPs and like a game like if you don't have a game plan in mind before you enter a trade, like you should not be in the trade like to begin with, right? Like it's pretty simple. Yeah, also wait for confirmation, bro. Like confirmation is such an important thing that I feel like a lot of people, it isn't taught, right? Like nobody teaches this, right? I learned this through fucking backtesting and just watching other people, right? Like how the fuck is this guy so profitable? Like what does he wait for? And then I see he waits for closures. I'm like, oh, like wait, why does he wait for a closure when he could just take a tap? And like see the thing with confirmation, right, is your RR sometimes, like, okay, so confirmation, pros and cons with confirmation, right? I would say your RR, one of the cons, right, is not that great RR, right? Depending on closure. But the pros, I would say way, like they are way more beneficial, is like higher chance of winning. That is literally all you need to know, is like higher, like trading is a game of probabilities, right? And you want to do everything in your power to maximize everything in your trading arsenal to maximize the chance of winning, right? Because let's say every trade is 50-50, right? Let's just say every trade is 50-50. Let's tweak one thing. Let's say the higher time frame is bearish, right? So now let's take a short. So now you're increasing your 50-50 trade from 50% chance to be a loser to maybe a 40% to be a loser. So now you have a 60% chance of winning by just simply following the trend, right? So now let's also implement another thing. Let's say let's wait for an IFEG entry, right? Why an IFEG entry? That's what we're comfortable with. That's kind of what we ICT traders signify as like a potential like entry to, you know, like we're riding momentum, right? Let's just say that, right? So now we're increasing our chances of winning to maybe 70% now, right? And then now let's finally add that final nail in the coffin. Let's wait for confirmation, right? Let's wait for confirmation. So now you add all that shit together, and your chances of winning are drastically way higher than 50%, right? So now your chances of winning with confirmation, with following the trend, with like an IFEG or whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? Now your chances of winning is like 80%, right? So that's your job as a trader, is to figure out what that is, right? And honestly, I feel like personally, I don't want to glaze myself, but I feel like this was probably one of the more informational streams that I've had in a while. Sometimes I'll just log in and take a trade, but every single trade I will always explain to you guys. Like if something doesn't make sense, like I'm always explaining shit. But I think today was just like a more unique scenario in which like I had more opportunities to show you guys like live. The red line was your entry. Hey, good shit, brother. But yeah, I genuinely hope that this helped you guys. Play back the video like from today, bro. Like I genuinely, I'm telling you, if you're able to just literally do what I did, like trading is simple, right? What is not simple is your mindset and your emotions and whatever. That is hard to control, right? Because it's human emotion, right? That is the hard thing to master. That's what a lot of people struggle with in trading, and myself included, right? I am not immune. The best, like, trading is the easy part, right? It's just managing your trade or everything after that. That is the hard part, right? So TP is about to hit, so let's go. Waiting for price to smack the low of day, London low. Yeah. Hey, GG's, bro. Who took that? Okay, let me do this. Start a poll. I I don't want to say if you took that, but did that make sense? Yes. No. Should I shut the fuck up next time? I don't know, bro. Like, I hope that made sense for you guys. Like, I literally walked you. I don't know what more I could have done to walk you guys through that trade. We took the better entry right here. So this entry, right? There was no entry on this candle, right? There was no entry on this. You didn't take that trade, but you understood why you did W trade. Hey, as long as you understand why, the most important thing in any given industry is understanding the why behind something. The actual execution doesn't fucking matter. As long as you understand the why and you can replicate that and you can reverse engineer that, then you can go out on your own and do it yourself. Who gives a fuck if you didn't execute on this trade, bro? If you walked away and learned something from this shit, that is a fucking W in my opinion. Not even my opinion. Objectively, that is a fucking W. Okay, minivan coupe. Let's see. You entered off 24, 30, 70. See, minivan. Trust me. There's nothing wrong with this entry down here. Like, I would have still probably entered off of this, right? The only thing is you don't really know where your stop is, but you're buying into momentum, right? Like, technically you shorted, but like you're entering your trade off of momentum, right? So, cause like I don't view it as, man, the risk to reward isn't good. I view it as, man, price action is defined. Guys, this will change your trading right here. I promise you. Stop being scared of entering when there's like a big ass fucking candle, right? Don't be scared. You should be happy when we get a death candle, because now price action, the objective is clear. It's not, oh my god, I missed this trade. No, like if you want to enter the trade, like I wouldn't say be afraid. Like the only thing is your stop loss isn't great. But now the objective is clear. Like change your fucking mindset, bro. Change your fucking mindset. I promise you, like you'll have so much more confidence when you enter a trade. You have to rewire your brain. I'm like, man, I missed this trade. Like the RR isn't good. Man, like sure I missed my ideal entry, but the trade still makes sense in my head. I still have a target. As long as you have a game plan while that shit's still going on, then you're fucking good, right? So you said your entry was around 370 minivan. Bro, it's fucking fine, bro. Like, because now with this candle, it's giving me confidence that the objective is going to be London low. So why not enter the trade when I still have a target, right? Like, that's what a whole bunch of people don't preach and don't understand, right? And people just think, like, you aren't a good trader if you don't have good RR, bro. Like, those guys need to fucking take a good look in the mirror. I don't know what to say, bro. But, yeah, let's see. Passed my EVA on Lucid today. We all win it. Let's go, Sack Boy. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Damn you. Okay, so Jeff, you closed at 380. That's still pretty good, bro. You got out at that low. That's fucking, that was our original target anyways. That was break even. That was TP1. That was fucking good. Waiting for price to smack low. Let's go to minivan. Bro, it feels so good when patiently sit, plan, and wait for the form potentially it hits TP. Yep. I'll check my entry in Discord. I will do that. Let's go. Let's go, minivan. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you using the code. Okay. Let me check the Discord real quick. So, yeah, post your, like, if you guys took that trade, post the execution. Let's kind of review your guys' entry. So TB got it. Let's see where he got in. His entry was 149. Okay. And you took it out at the London low. Fucking let's go. Like, let's go, bro. Good shit. Let's go. I don't know what this is, but good shit. Let's check out Jeff's. Jeff, that's fucking a perfect entry, Mo. That's what I'm talking about right there. That is what I'm talking about. This is, see, you don't enter, see, because like this candle, right? Let's say we go back on this candle, right? This is confirmation. So this is for me confirmation, but confirmation comes in two phases. One is the first step is we get a strong candle closure. Step one, boom, out of a fair value gap, right? Boom, step one. Second step is waiting for the next candle open to see what it does. If we open up right here, right, and we start pushing up, then I'll be able to avoid this trade if it is a bad trade, right? Like if we have like a sudden fake out or something and we just start reversing to the upside, I will easily be able to avoid the trade. If not, and we kind of just slightly hesitate and we create that, because most, like 95% of candles have a top wick, right? If you look at any bearish candle or any like bullish candle, there's a top wick, top wick, top wick. What we are waiting for is simply for us to generate that top wick and then we enter on the way back down. Why? Because now we know, we have more confidence that that will probably be the high of that candle, and then we can ride the rest of the candle all the way back down while it is still generating. That is why you wait for the flip. So once this candle flips back down bearish, we don't know how big the bearish candle is going to be, right? We don't know how big it is, but you want to enter your trade when that is happening, right? So now, guess what? The next candle, like I said, I didn't know how big the candle was, but it was a fucking death candle. Perfect entry, and guess what? You get rewarded for it, right? Like, play back. I'm telling you, I might have to make a fucking recap today. I haven't uploaded on YouTube in a little bit. I might have to make a recap today because this shit was so fucking good, bro. It was so fucking good. $85 on live account. Let's fucking go. That's a fucking W. All right, that is it. For today's video, guys, or I guess today's live stream. I hope you guys learned something, bro. I'm telling you, like, play back the video from the start, from bias building to the different scenarios that we played, and then more specifically, replay the part where we predicted that this could be a potential play. First, obviously, this trade didn't play out off of that fair value gap, so we adapted. We came out with two more scenarios, right, after this play. So like, let me quickly recap, right? Right here, when we entered this fair value gap, right, there was two scenarios that was playing in my head, right? Is if we close back above this 1 minute / 5 minute right here, then I could see potential longs riding back all the way into London and Asia high, right? We could get an inversion entry and then try to ride it long, right? Second entry could be a potential strong candle closure out of this fair value gap, right? A potential strong candle closure out of this fair value gap, right? And let's see which one plays out. Okay, so the second scenario plays out, right? We get a strong candle closure out of it. Now, what do I wait for? I wait for confirmation, right? So this is my confirmation candle. However, I wait for the next candle to open to see if we continue bearish. Do we continue bearish? No, we start reversing, right? So now you come up with another scenario. It's like, okay, it's at least, like, we didn't get continuation. I still like short, but you know, you have to be flexible, right? All right, see you later, Jeff. So now you come out with two more scenarios. Like, okay, if we close back above, this could be a quick potential long entry, right? Where you go break even right here. The other one would be if we hold this fair value up, right? Tap back inside, get a strong candle closure, then this could be a potential short, right? Once you get this candle, wait for the next, like, obviously this is confirmation, wait for the next candle to flip. Once it flips, that's your entry, and then boom, right? So that's how we walk through this trade today, but that is it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you use code MONK. That's MONK with 2 Ks on all these prop firms. I would appreciate that. We'll be back next week as well, and yeah. Yeah, I hope you all trade safe. If you guys still continue to decide to trade today, if you're up on the day, please hop the fuck off. Don't trade again. I don't recommend trading in this market. Today was pretty good. I won't lie. So, but I still don't recommend you trying to trade even if you're up. Just lock yourself out. Do whatever the fuck you need to do. Go outside, touch some grass. What else? If you still have not found a trade, be patient. Hop on another stream. Trade with someone else. Do not trade by yourself. That's how you're gonna blow your shit, bro. Stay disciplined. Follow your rules. And yeah, that is it. I will see y'all later.